Hi, my name's Trevor Wilkins. Have you ever been involved in a project where there was a difference in opinion or a difference in facts that seemed to be completely irreconcilable and you could do nothing about it at all? Maybe it was even a family situation. Have you ever tried to influence people to accept change, maybe to a price, a timescale or a deliverable, and you really weren't sure how each of the individual people were going to accept that change? And worst of all, have you ever been in a situation where there was no communication at all? No trust, and you couldn't move things forward. And that's just the worst situation you can be in. There's no easy way of solving this problem. When I was a young salesman, people said to me all the time, see the problem from the other side of the table, the buyer's side of the table. Very easy to say, not that easy to do, particularly if you're a 31-year-old software sales guy talking to a 61-year-old Swiss banker. Over the years, I've used and developed the technique that we're going to look at today. It's called 4C, because you can use it to foresee what's going to happen possibly from 4 different positions. I've used this technique with myself, with my clients, and with my sales teams and my partners. Today, we're going to do the exercise with my good friend and colleague, Negmi Palleiro. Thank you very much for coming, Negmi.
Hi.
If you'd like to come over this way, I'll show you where we're going to set up for the exercise. Okay, Negmi, thank you very much indeed. First thing I want you to do is to go into what we call first position. You'd like to sit in the orange chair, which is very clearly marks first position. Now I'm going to ask you to do something which I hope you don't have a problem with you. I want you to be yourself. You okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
So I'd like you to have a think, maybe reflect a little bit inside your head. You can either have your eyes closed or your eyes open. People find it have different ways of doing it. Think about yourself. Think about what makes you what you are. Your beliefs, your values, the things that have happened to you over your life, in work and at home. And just think, be happy and content with who you are. Now, I understand that you're here today because you've got a problem that you maybe like some help with fixing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would you like to explain it? You can be as open or as closed as you want about it.
Yeah, sure, I can explain. Well, this person was a project manager. He was working on the same project I was working on. And, well, let's just call him Mike.
Okay, we stick with Mike.
Yeah. And, well, I needed to let him know that we were going to be late with some deliverables we had. And, well, the situation just got really bad. He got really, really angry and he got upset.
What I'd like you to do is think about, well, obviously that first big meeting that you had with Mike. We'll do a couple, shall we? We'll do a meeting and one on the phone. So go back to that time that you were with Mike. I want you to maybe close your eyes, go back to that time, think about the words that you heard, hear them, his tone of voice, hear what you understood from those words. Think about what you saw, what was going on around you, what Mike was doing, maybe the pictures he was painting for you, and feel the way that you felt at the time and the information that you were getting or not getting during that time. So I'll just give you a couple of moments to think about that, run through that meeting, truly be there and be yourself. Okay, thanks very much, Megmi. You really put yourself into that. What I'd like to, can you look at the ceiling? You see there's square tiles and rectangular tiles. Can you count the square tiles for me? Yeah, or it doesn't matter, you don't have to do it. That's what we call a pattern interrupt, just to get you out of that state that we're in now. What we're going to do now is we're going to move you across here to second position.
Okay.
This blue chair is second position, and I want you to leave yourself to the best of your ability to behind. All your beliefs and your values. You're no longer Negmi, you are Mike. Now, do you know a bit about Mike?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you know about his background. I'm sure you don't know his beliefs and values in detail, but what I'd like you to do is sit there and be Mike. Sit there the way Mike sits, maybe get into the chair the way he does, how he holds his arms, his legs, his head. Does he as a man who has tension in his body? Have a think about all of those things. Be Mike to the best of your ability. Then I'd like you to maybe run Mike's day through up until the time he had that meeting with you. So think about how he got to work, I don't know his family situation, and see if you can just work that through so that when you're there you truly are Mike and you're seeing the world through Mike's eyes and using his filters and values. So just take a moment or two doing that. Okay. So Mike, what I'd like to do, you're about to have a meeting with Negmi Palleiro. So I'd like you to maybe think about that meeting that you had before with her. Maybe sit and run the meeting through your mind. Think about the words that she said, that you said to her, the information that was passed, the listening that was done, the listening that wasn't done, and the way you felt about it. So perhaps you could just run through that with your eyes closed or open, whatever suits you well. But Mike, I want you to get as clearly as you can into that situation. Now, if you can, maybe if you could think about the interpretation that you made of Negmi's words and the ideas that she had, can you think of the motivation that you had for some of the thoughts that were going through your head at the time? You may not be able to do it, but if it's possible, that would be very cool. Okay. And have you had any interaction with Negmi since that first meeting?
Yeah. We talked by phone.
She talked to you by phone. Okay, so let's just run through that telephone conversation. Pick up the phone, say, hi, this is Mike.
Hey, Negmi. Yeah, this is Mike.
Now do the rest in your head. And again, listen to the words that she uses. What do those words mean to you? Think of the images that she creates in your head. Are they the images that she's trying to create in your head, or are they just the ones that you're creating from her? Be you and everything that makes you you. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's stand up a moment, and because we count the windows here, it's almost not worth counting the windows because it's this beautiful view of the Rideau Canal, isn't it? And all the leaves are turning. It's just the best time of year, isn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do now, Negmi, is we're going to use what I think is one of the most powerful positions. We're going to put you into third position. So if you'd like to stand there, facing directly between the two connectors, protagonists, call them what we will. Now, third position is very, very unique. First of all, you have no interest whatsoever in the decision that's being made, the resolution, the sale that's going to be made, whatever the decision is. So you have no interest. We say in English, you have no axe to grind. But would you like a little bit of magic? Would you like to know you have magic powers? Okay. You can actually see into Mike's mind and into Negmi's mind, because you're neither of them now, you are this very powerful third position, and you can see the motivations, the filters, what makes them what they are, the decisions they've made, the experiences they've had that have brought them to the point at which they're having this conversation. And what I'd like you to do, with a bearing in mind that you are going to be able to give them some advice, both of them. You'll be able to give Mike advice about the best way to communicate and influence Negmi, and you'll be able to talk to Negmi about the best way to communicate and influence her. Okay. I'd like you to, as that third position, using your magic powers, don't forget those, I'd like you to run through both of those conversations. First of all, the big one that ended up in tears. Cool. Have you got some advice for them in your head? Cool. What about, I'd like to watch the telephone call. Okay. A little bit different telephone calls. People make presuppositions on telephone calls. They create images in their head because they have so little information to use. So they've only got words, intonation and speed really to listen to. Cool. Do you think you're going to have some good advice for them?
Yeah, sure.
That's cool. Okay, so the last position is what we call fourth position. If you'd like to stand just beside that table over there with the little tiles cubes on it. Fourth position is somebody, unlike third position, who has no interest. You are going to be affected by this decision. You are going to be affected by the outcomes from here. Now, fourth position, unlike the other positions, is actually a multiple position. You could be a customer. You could be a client, you could be God, you could be the law, you could be a family member, you could be Mike's brother. So I'd like you to have a think about what fourth positions will be affected by the resolution of this project management situation. Have a think about a few, see if you can find some specific people. I'm sure you can think of more than 3 or 4, but go to the big chunked up ones, the high up ones, and just the detailed ones. And maybe pick the 2 with time pressing, the 2 that you'd like to do. What would they be that will be affected by this?
Yeah, I think that will be one of my process engineers.
Right.
And probably a customer.
A processing engineer and a customer. That's cool. Okay, so what I would like you to do from this semi-magic position as a processing engineer or as a customer, to watch those 2 conversations. First of all, the one that was face-to-face, and then the telephone one. I'll leave that all to you. But I want you to be completely selfish. I don't want any independent advice here. How is this going to affect you? What's in it for you?
Okay.
Very different from third, isn't it? Negmi, that's been fantastic, but I'm not going to let you get away with just saying you're going to be more sensitive in future.
Okay.
Could you, because you know me well, I would like you to be a bit more specific. Can you tell me what specific words, what specific actions you would do now as a result of the insights we've just gained?
Okay, I think then I will probably use a pre-frame.
A pre-frame. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And what sort of a pre-frame? What would you do?
Well, I'll first explain, I'll let him know that I know how important the project is for him, and I know how important quality is for him.
Ah, I like that, yes.
Yeah, so I'll kind of think of what is on it for him, and probably I'll just say something like, well, I know that quality is really, really, really important in this project, and in order to assure quality, we will need to take a little bit more time to complete the task, and etc. So
That's quite cool. And is it your decision, or have you got a supplier or somebody who's actually causing the problem?
no, actually, it was lack of resources in my team. So
Okay, that's pretty cool. I think the best thing you've done here, which I hope you didn't do before, was you're seeing what's in it for him. In this particular case, I don't think there's anything in it for the fourth position, but it's definitely a classic example of what's in it for you in the second position.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Tell me how the
Thank
meeting
you.
goes.
Thanks.
I do hope you can now see why 4C is so very useful, and we'll give it a try. It's even actually a really good team building or project kickoff exercise for a bunch of new people who are going to be working together. You can use 4C to prepare for a difficult meeting. You can use it to prepare for an interview. You can use it before you're going to do a proposal, so that the person reading the proposal has better insights from what you've written. And you can use it in the same way for a presentation. Best of all, it gives your team a really powerful shorthand. To say Ben has no capability for getting into second position is a very powerful statement to make. And once people understand first, second, third and fourth position, has a huge amount of information in it. I even use 4C myself in my head, in a taxi, in an airport departure lounge, maybe even sitting in a waiting room before a meeting, just to run through and try and understand what I'm just about to influence from the point of view of the person on the other side of the table. Down the bottom here, you'll see some links that'll take you to some videos, some coaching notes and some scripts. Please use them. And please try and integrate 4C into your life all the time. You can use it as a very valuable tool for when things go wrong, but the best way to use it is have it inside you all the time. Good luck with using this very